Hi everyone, this video is entirely inspired by Matthew Sharappa, who I will link in the description box down below. Last week or the week before, he uploaded a vlog where he was walking around New York and listening to an audiobook, and he would show you his walk and talk to you about the audiobook that he was listening to, and I thought that that was amazing. Today is Sunday, it's a bank holiday, Mr. M is away for the weekend, and I am feeling slightly anxious. Those two things are not related, but when I feel anxious, I want to work, and because it's a coping mechanism for me, sometimes that's fine. Sometimes it's not fine because I don't have anything that I need to do today. So to remove myself of the temptation to work, I'm taking myself out of the house. I have downloaded the audiobook of I Am by Maggie O'Farrell, which I've been wanting to read for ages, and the audiobook's only 6 hours long, so I'm hoping I can read it all today. This is it's a non-fiction book, a memoir about her 17 brushes with death. Also in my bag, I'm packing this, which is Sing of the Shore by Lucy Wood. It's her second short story collection. I've already read the first in this collection. All of her stories are inspired by Cornwall, the sea, and folklore. And I will link both of those books in the description box down below. So when I walk, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook of I Am. When I sit down somewhere, I might pick up Sing of the Shore. I am going to take myself also as a treat to Dishoom for breakfast. One, because I'm predictable, and two, because I have a free breakfast. Dishoom is an amazing Indian restaurant in London. They've also recently opened a branch in Edinburgh. Every time you go for breakfast, they give you a stamp. If you get 5 stamps, you get a free breakfast. So I'm going to take myself off to Dishoom at King's Cross, and then we'll start our walk along the canal, and then I'm not sure where we'll get to, but I will take you along and I will let you know about the books that I'm reading as we go. The weather forecast is for thunderstorms, and I'm really hoping that it's wrong. Weirdly, it's for thunder without rain, and I don't particularly understand that, but I have my umbrella. It's a book-themed umbrella, so that's nice. Hopefully, we'll be fine, but you know, it's England. I'm always prepared for rain. Let's go. I just had a delicious breakfast and now I've come out of Granary Square and the canal is right here. So we're going to go down onto it in a second. It's very sunny. I'm going to have to get my sunglasses out, I think. So I'm listening to I Am. And as I said, it's 17 brushes with death. And the first one is when she's out walking by herself and nearly gets killed by a man. Given I'm now going for a walk by myself, perhaps not the best opening chapter for me to listen to, but it's going to be quite busy, I think, along the canal because it's nice weather still no thunderstorms, and it's a Sunday, so that's fine. I'm really enjoying it though, and yeah, being by the water makes me feel calmer. I think it's because I grew up by the sea. I know it's because I grew up by the sea. So let's go for a walk along the canal. Firstly, we'll be walking along to Camden. From Camden to Regent's Park, we go past some beautiful houses, which I'm about to show you in a second, and some lovely houseboats. Also, we walk past London Zoo. I'm an hour and a half into I Am, and I'm loving it. She's talking about childbirth, she's talking about terrible experiences on holiday. It's really engaging, and I'm really glad that I actually listened to it on audio. I've had to get some homemade lemonade from Camden Market because it's 27 degrees. I forgot to bring a non-disposable cup, which I feel very naughty about, but need to stay hydrated. warning, if you're listening to I am in public, it's a bit emotional. I'm about halfway through, still enjoying it very, very much. I've just stopped in Regent's Park and I've sat down and read a story from Sing of the Shore by Lucy Wood. It's the second one in the collection, and it's kind of like a mix between Cara Spray from Sweet Home, not her, one of her stories in Sweet Home, which is about a man who is really worried about accidentally killing his baby, and then one short story from Murakami's The Elephant Vanishes, which is I think called The TV Men, which is about strange men who come into this block of flats. But this short story was about a man who was compulsively washing his hands. He was staying in a strange place. His wife had been put on placement and he was anxiously looking after his baby, and strange things start happening. It was really good. I preferred that to the first one in the collection, which I also enjoyed. And now I'm going to continue walking, probably down to Marylebone, out of Regent's Park, which is where I am now. Oh, when I went through Camden Market, I picked up 3 prints. I got 2 that I'm going to give to my dad for Father's Day, and then one with a deer on, which I quite liked, which has Freak written at the top. So I'm going to leave Regent's Park, walk down to Marylebone, take you to Daunt Books on Marylebone High Street. I don't think I'm going to buy anything, but I can't resist going in, and then we can walk across Hyde Park to South Kensington. Now I'm in Hyde Park. I really wasn't going to buy anything in Daunt Books, but then I found this. This is Ice by Anna Kavan, and let me read you the blurb. It says, "No one knows why the ice has come, and no one can stop it. Every day it creeps further across the earth, covering the land in snow and freezing everything in its path. Through this bleached, devastated world, one man pursues the sylph-like, silver-haired girl he loves, and she keeps running, away from her husband, away from the sinister warden who seeks to control her, away from him." That sounds amazing. And this is a Penguin modern classic. As I said, now I'm in Hyde Park, and I'm gonna walk across. It's about nearly 4, I think. So I'm gonna walk diagonally across to South Kensington, and then go to Whole Foods. They have a Bone Daddy's on the top floor, and I'm going to get myself an early dinner. I'm still listening to I am. I'm still loving it, still finding it very emotional. Thinking about near-death experiences, I don't think that I've really ever had one. I had dozens of operations when I was younger because of the genetic condition I had, and the first operation I had was when I was 3 months old, so there's been risky moments and not so great moments, but I don't think I've nearly ever died. Mr. M once had a very scary experience. He was cycling in Edinburgh and a bus got too close to him, and his wheel, the back wheel of his bike, got stuck in the side of the bus, and then he was dragged down the road attached to the bus. And then finally his bike broke free and he was able to come away from the bus and stop, but that was terrifying for him. I've also read 2 more stories, one where a story is like recycling itself and on a loop, and it's about a character who has this fear of groups of cows. The other story was about a group of teenagers who were trying to hunt for treasure on a beach. I much preferred the looping story to the other one, but I think I am enjoying this collection more than Diving Bells, which is interesting. Anyway, I'm going to have to walk across Hyde Park quite quickly because I think Bone Daddy's closes at 5:30. And that's, as I said, in Whole Foods, and Whole Foods has an amazing tea section, so I might have to go there to treat myself to some tea before I head home later. Okay, so it's about 6:30. I've got an hour left of my audiobook. There were no thunderstorms. I'm gonna head home because it's gonna take me about an hour to get home, and I'll catch up with you guys when I get there. I'm back home. I have got very tired feet. My phone tells me that I've walked 34,000 steps today, which is quite a lot. So I was out for about 8.5 hours. I finished listening to I am. I thought it was fantastic. I will talk about it more in a wrap up, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. And if you've read that and liked it, I think you might like Andrew Motion's In the Blood, which is a book that I read pre-Booktube and quite a long time ago as well, but that talks about his childhood illness. He had polio. If I remember correctly, because of his background and the family that he was brought up in, there is some talk of fox hunting. I don't remember it being lauded as a good thing, but I do remember that it was in there, so if that's a problem for anyone, just flagging that. But Andrew Motion's In the Blood is basically like a cross between Maggie O'Farrell's I Am and Roald Dahl's Boy. But I especially loved Maggie talking about her love of audiobooks when she was younger and when she was sick in hospital, because she had an illness which meant that she couldn't move for about a year, and the audiobook saved her, allowed her to read when her parents weren't there to read to her. And I've made a whole video talking about my favourite audiobooks. If you're interested, and I'll link it in the description box down below, but that resonated with me because I spent a lot of time in hospital when I was younger, and I loved audiobooks because I had so many operations on my hands, so my hands were often bandaged and I couldn't hold a book to read, so audiobooks were really important to me as well. But it's a fantastic book. But I am really glad that I did this, and I really enjoyed myself today, and I'm also, this may sound silly, but I'm kind of proud of myself for doing it, because sometimes I don't like going for a walk on my own in certain places because I just get a bit anxious about it and a bit nervous. When I worked as a bookseller, I was followed home from work a few times by customers, and I just get, I just don't like walking in spaces when I know that other people aren't going to be there. So I'm quite glad that I did that. That might not seem like a big thing to some people, but it's a big thing to me. But I really enjoyed doing this, and I really like the format that I picked as well, listening to a non-fiction audiobook and then stopping every so often and reading a short story from a collection. So I would like to do more of these in the future. Walking around London is one of my favourite things to do. All of my friends know that I drag them on walks around London. They are long-suffering friends. I'm sorry, Lauren. I'm sorry, Jean. I'm sorry, Lena. I'm sorry, Ariel. I'm sorry, Claire. So doing this on my own sometimes I think might be fun. I mean, I walked very far, I got vitamin D, I consumed a book and a half. That's quite good. And I feel great. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments section below if you did. I often think that people think that London is a very built up area, which of course it is, but I love to seek out the greenery, and there's lots of greenery to seek out. So I will do more greenery walks around London, and then I will also do some walks when I go back home to the northeast, where I will review a book and go for a wander. And thank you, Matthew, for the inspiration, and I would love to see more people do this. Can we make this a thing? I'd like that. I hope you guys have had a great weekend, and I'll speak to you soon. Lots of bookish love. Bye.